one of my best friends and someone I go to watch mindset and really understand what is going on in the Fresno real estate market is Jason Pritchard. If you are lucky enough to follow him on Instagram, you are seeing somebody who cares and manages his feed. And this really struck me yesterday when I was on Twitter. And I do generally a good job of kind of making sure that my social media is positive because I want to follow that. But for whatever reason, as my Twitter has grown, I've started to let doomers in. And these are well-known doomers, Twitter famous, 25,000 subs or whatever they're called, followers. And I needed to block them because they were starting to take over and those doomers were bringing other doomers and the algorithm was feeding me more doom. And Jason, I know we've talked about mindset a lot, but I don't think we've talked about the asset of your social media feed. That feed could be an asset or a liability. And
100%.
I've come to you many times and you really talk about this. So tell me why it's so important.
I think it's really important. And I think the approach that I take and that I would suggest for the people watching this video is think about how are you curating your social media feed, right? Because you do get to pick and choose and the algorithm's listening to you. So the more things that you click on and the more time you spend watching, the algorithm is just going to feed that, right? And so I think step number one, guys, is we have to be aware of what we're clicking on and scrolling through, right? And it can be very easy, especially in this market, if we're real estate professionals, to kind of go down that doom and gloom rabbit hole that you were just talking about. And I'm here to say that it's just very important that we do not, because once you start spiraling down that, it's very hard to dig yourself out of. So I love this topic, man. I think it's great. And I think it's something that a lot of people don't realize how much time they probably spend clicking on negative content and letting that seep in and affect their mindset.
And again, I want to be, I was thinking this, right? And I was like, hey, I want to hear the other side. I want to have a balanced opinion, right? This was bullshit I was telling myself. And all it was doing was inviting more doom in. Doomers doom because it pays the bills.
That's right.
They're trying to scare you into inaction. I was an idiot for letting them in. I challenge everybody right here, right now, on all your social media feeds, block 2 doomers today, and your feed gets better. I blocked doomers, probably 6 doomers over the last 48 hours, and my feed is already better. I want to know people that are doing it and winning and doing the work and positive. And again, I'll say it, your social media feed is an asset or a liability.
That's right.
And you get to choose.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, no, I think it's very difficult, especially right now. And this is me speaking from personal experience, because we've talked openly about some of the losses that I've taken on deals over the last 12 months. And you're automatically kind of down on yourself, even when you're somebody like me that has a lot of confidence, that has a track record. When you take a loss, it's natural to want to take a step back and be like, damn, am I losing something? Am I losing a step? Is something going on? And you just compound that negativity when you click on that negative content, right? Because then it just feeds into that story that's going through your head, and you don't realize how fast that can get out of control. And it's even more important when you're starting out on this journey, because you're so susceptible to getting steered in one direction or the other. And you guys get to choose. It's a conscious choice. That's what I tell people. The mindset is a conscious choice. So you get to choose how you feel. But if you're constantly bombarding your feed with negative stuff and this and that and the other thing, it's very unlikely that you're going to get the traction that you want in your business. I think you're just setting yourself up for sabotage.
It's funny, there's an old saying, show me your 5 friends and I can tell your future. I'm actually starting to think right now, show me your social media feed and I can tell you your future.
I agree. I agree. I bet you if you measured like the accounts or the content that you watch the most, that is what your reality is. That would be an interesting thing, because I agree. It's whatever we focus on and put our energy and attention towards, that's what ends up manifesting in our life. It's been proven to me over and over again. So this is something, guys, that's very simple to do. And it's also very simple not to do. And usually the most impactful things are that way, right? And that's why people don't put really any value in this. It's easy just to kind of breeze past this conversation that we're having, because it's like, yeah, I get it. I understand. But you really have to stop and realize that if you're sitting here kind of just spiraling, it's not going to be a good outcome for you guys. And so you have to be very careful.
Yeah, I would tell you again, I have this saying, right? Again, I'm a sports guy, as you are. Yeah. There are people in the parking lot getting drunk with their buddies. There are people in the stands and there are people in the field, on the field. You and I are on the field. You and I are helping people get out of the stands onto the field. But there are a lot of drunk morons in the parking lot. And if your social media feed is full of drunk morons, you're going to be a drunk moron. So I really do think your social media feed, I can tell your future by looking at their feed. So
and let me insert something there, because I think, again, this isn't calling anybody individually out, but if you look at a lot of the people that preach the doom and gloom, right? I would suspect that most of them are people that fall into this category. They are not the actual people that are on the playing field in the game. They're the people that are on the sidelines, right? And their agenda is not to give you the things that are working right now. You said their agenda is to push fear because fear garners attention, and attention then increases the income that they make. Yeah. So of course, right? With us, we're true operators. We're proven operators in the business, and we're the ones telling you what's going on right now, right? And there is definitely opportunities in the business, and it's not all doom and gloom. So you got to be careful.
Yeah, it's really funny. I mean, I'm hearing, it's becoming very obvious to me that social media feed is an asset or a liability. I mean, it's crystallized in this conversation, and we have free will.
Yep.
You can block these things. Blaming the algorithm, blame yourself. Look in the mirror.
So what's the challenge? What are we challenging the audience to?
Block 2 doomers today.
There we go.
2 doomers today. Jason, where can people follow you? Because you are not a doomer. You are sharing what's going on, wins and losses.
Yep.
What's going on?
Yeah, that's right, guys. I think the best place to get in contact with me, number one, is my website. It's jasonpritchard.com. We share all the tools and resources that my team are using every day in our business to find success. And then you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. That's where I'm most active, just Jason Pritchard in either one of those platforms. We're sharing the good, the bad, the ugly, all the things. The honest, authentic truth is what you'll get from following me. So excited to help out your audience. We get a lot of interaction from one rental at a time. So happy to be a resource for you guys.
Yeah, guys, do me a favor. Go to his Instagram feed. I think it was yesterday. It might have been the day before. He put out a bleeper reel that was hilarious.
That's right. We need to get a one rental at a time reel from you. I'm sure we've got a bunch of outtakes from your stuff. I know you like to go one take and done, but I'm sure we've got some.
There's some out there. Yeah, there's some out there.
Sure. That's right.
All righty, buddy. Take care of yourself. Thanks for all you do.
Thanks, man.